After so much fun on the Mulloway at the 1 Mile Jetty, we thought we'd go fishing one more time with our man in Carnarvon, Glenn Walling. As we mentioned at the 1 Mile Jetty last time, Carnarvon's offshore areas have almost no structure, and the sandy bottom made finding fish in years past one heck of a chore. Rather than just sit back and live with it, the locals decided to do something about it, but more about that later. Glenn has been a mate and a writer for fishingwa.com for some years now, and works in Carnarvon as a nurse at the local hospital. You can see that he's caught some fine fish while living here, and some of those have come from a place called the Tyres. The Tyres are just that, man-made pyramids of automotive excellence, and they provide the sort of structure that almost all of the species that you find in Carnarvon visit at some time. For this reason, it's the local hotspot, and we believe that this is the first time they've been shown on TV. Just look at all of the life teeming around these man-made reefs, including one fish that I've been wanting a crack at on lures for some time. And today I'm going to show you how to catch pink snapper on these metal jigs. They're pretty simple stuff really, a piece of metal and a treble at the back. The way we're going to work them is to send them down and stop them every few feet just to entice the fish. When we get to the bottom, just bump it up and down slowly. I think this is really going to work, and hopefully you're going to learn something about this and try it yourself and do well. So let's go. Just let it drop, but remember to stop the spool with your thumb at regular intervals, and you'll find you hook many fish even on the way down. A bait caster reel is much more practical than an egg beater for this type of fishing, and the laser lure got belted the minute it hit the bottom. This fish was nothing to write home about, but a good solid scrap to start the day off gets your confidence up and the adrenaline pumping nicely. It was a snapper all right, but not the sort of size I was hoping for. Hey, at least they were down there. In the meantime, Ian was finding out that baits don't last very long up here at all. Glenn was using his local knowledge to good effect and started out by calling on the local tailor population, which is usually more than happy to eat anything dropped around the tyres.
That's about a standard size fish for this part of the world. Get them a lot bigger.
Ian's fish turned out to be different again. An emperor, or Norwest snapper as they call them up here. Boy, these locals don't waste any time getting back in the water, do they? This spangled emperor is a tasty fish for the table, and some rate them higher than snapper and jewfish, but you always have to check that your fish is over the legal length. Yeah, that's pretty close, mate, but I think we better have a quick look, make sure it's right.
It's right on the tail there. Oh yeah, he's well in. He's just under 45 there, Steve.
And what's the legal for him?
Legal's
41.
Yeah.
Excellent. A few centimetres over, and they are great to eat, aren't they?
Good for tea.
Tea was far from Glenn's mind as he hauled yet another fish on board. He was starting to make us look bad, but we were sure glad he was here. You'll find out why in a minute.
That's what we call a happy moments, or a gold line spine foot. They, the spines along the back of the backbone there, if they penetrate your skin, apparently you get a few moments of euphoria, hence the name happy moments, before the pain sets in. I've talked to people who have been stung by them, and they actually think that a broken leg is preferable to being stung by one of these in the leg. The pain is extreme, and it's very long lasting. When they come into hospital, we usually treat them by immersing the spine wound in hot water, the same as we do with stonefish, and apparently that helps. But I've seen people have large doses of narcotics and they will still be screaming in pain. They're very, very dangerous fish, despite the fact that they look quite innocent. Lots of things in the water up here bite, sting, and cause lots of pain. You must be very careful, and it's a good idea to have an ID book so you know what you're chasing. But we'll try and get this off and send him back into the water.
We were so lucky that Glenn was here to stop Marshy grabbing this nasty little fish, because the waters are crawling with them up here and they aren't shy about taking a bait. Oh, look at that!
Oh, yes!
Huge!
Sambo.
Sambo!
Yeah.
My fish got followed up by a huge Samson fish then, and he was so panicked, he managed to extricate himself from the hook, and the Sambo chased it back down to the bottom.
Oh, he's taking line. Big time.
That's your right.
Oh, I doubt it. Don't normally get them here. Might be a mulloway. Oh, come up. Oh, I've got colour. Ah, blowy! There you go. Flaming blowy.
Stick your fingers in his mouth.
Yeah, I've seen them put dents in pliers.
Give him a tickle.
Catch of the week.
That's got to be a wooden spoon.
They're nice with a little bit of capers and white wine.
Nice crumbs.
I've just been running that jig across the bottom, giving it little jerks, and something big has grabbed it. You can always tell when a snapper is attached to your line from the distinct head shakes that are felt right through your arms with this braided line. We've got a good bit of colour, it looks like a nice pink. Here we go, next swim, hang on, no. Swimming around, your net now, got it. Well, they say lures don't work for bottom fishing. All across the world they do it, and I'm using these little laser jigs. Now, that's the end result. It's bent, but here's the end result down here too. That's just jigging across the bottom, no bait, just a lure. A perfect Carnarvon snapper.
Get that, please. Oh, it's blowy. Again. Oh, no.
Good fun though, eh, Ian?
Ah, fantastic.
You have to hand it to Glenn. He was like a machine just hauling in fish after fish. I guess there's no substitute for local knowledge, and Glenn has plenty of that.
You have to handle these very carefully. They have a lot of very sharp spines on them, which will punch straight through the palm of your hand without any difficulty at all. That will be getting almost legal size. But I'll go back anyway. I'm not going to kiss it. Gone. So now you know why I live in Carnarvon. Great fishing, great climate. Far enough away from the in-laws.
The tidal movements and creek systems in the northwest, like this one here at Willie Creek in Broome, absolutely amazing to someone like me that's lived down south most of his life, where tidal movements of a metre are probably the norm. Up here, it can be almost 10 at times, and we've only been here for half an hour, and when we arrived, those mangroves, they were underwater, and now they're almost a metre exposed, and it's nowhere near low tide. As the day goes along, you'll see the tide will drop almost down to nothing, where the waters in front of us turn into sand flats. It's just a great place to be. I love it. While we were waiting for Bruce to find a way through the mangroves with the boat, Marshy and I thought we'd see if anything was swimming around the base of these cliffs. Sure enough, there were dozens of beautiful little trevally that are loads of fun on light tackle. We caught and released a few until we could hear the four-wheel drive in the distance and went off to meet it. There's no such thing as a boat ramp here. You just have to find a gap in the trees, put her into reverse and go for it. Occasionally it ends in tears, but the sand's pretty firm around the water's edge. Ian's friend Peter Tucker is a guide in the Broome area, and rather than tangling with some big fish today, we thought we'd look at how important these creeks are to juvenile fish and the whole breeding cycle. That's a little swagman, and you only have to work them slow. He says there's some juvenile giant trevally here, and a juvenile giant trevally is a good trevally in anyone else's language, so I reckon we're going to do all right. It wasn't long before a small GT attacked the lure right near the boat.
GTs.
And you can hear him grunting. Change them to grunting trevally. Now, they're very sharp, so we're going to watch him here. Back he goes. To grow into a 65-pound monster, hopefully. Watch out. He'll go back nice and gently. Believe it or not, this little fish can grow into something over 50 kilos and will become one of the toughest fish in the ocean, but he needed to do some growing yet, so we sent him on his way. Swim in for a minute, and off he goes. Pete's famous in these parts for catching monster queenfish, which can grow to 10 kilos and a superb sport fish, but he wasn't too keen to own up to this one on camera.
Trouble with queenies, fishing for queenies up here, I like to push for just single hooks.
Yeah.
And the reason being is their gills, see how close their gill rakes come right up to their gob?
Yeah.
So trebles rip them to pieces and they die. But a single hook, usually you just lip hook and you can release them quite well, so it flies perfect.
Yeah, I think that was a good idea.
Nice little wolf herring there, Steve.
I've never caught one of these before. I've been dying to see one.
Nice set of dentures.
They don't fight too bad at all, do they? When you get near the boat, they certainly don't want to come in easily. Oh, whoa, look at that. And he's done me.
There you go.
Well,
So much for that nice little lure today.
they spoke the lures.
Get another fish for the rest of
They
the
seem to work on everything, but I'm out of them now. We spotted some local Aboriginal people fishing on the banks and decided to see if we could pick up a few secrets learned by fishing this region for thousands of years.
So what sort of fish do we get in here, Eric?
Barra, salmon, skippy, mango jacks,
So you mainly fish for what sort of fish?
salmon.
Salmon, that's your favourite, is it?
Yep.
Yeah? Cook them on the barbie or on the coals, or?
I put them on the coals
Yeah?
or in the frying pan.
Alright mate, well good luck.
Yep.
And I'll see you again. Thanks mate.
This must be a good luck now, this throw.
Okay.
Anytime you like, you can lift that barrier. And racing.
Up in Broome, there are so many crabs that they actually race them, but not all are friendly like this cute little hermit, as Marshy was about to find out.
Now just as I was walking the flats up here, just trying to spot fish in different little bays because the tide's run out that much, I come across what I thought was a landmine. And if you have a look down there, come on, show your claws. Now they'll crush your fingers, that's why I've got a stick. Look at the size of that. He's huge. If I just dig him out a bit, if he'll go. There you go. There's a crab. He's massive. And these are great eating as well. And we're not going to do anything. I'm going. Forget that. And the stick.
You've heard the saying, never smile at a crocodile? Well, remember, never poke at a mud crab either. One of my favourite places to fish is the Fads behind Rottnest Island off the coast of Perth. You can catch many species including the powerful mahi-mahi or dolphin fish. The first stop is one of Rottnest Bays with my friend Don Go and his nephew David. Today I was going to show them how to fish the Fads, and we start by catching live herring for bait. The best way I've found is to troll around reefs with a small fly, and soon you'll have about 10 which should last you all day. FAD stands for Fish Aggregating Device, and they're floats anchored to the bottom in 100 plus metres of water. They provide structure that sport fish like to live around. Okay, we're here at the FAD. Now I'm going to show you how to catch dolphin fish on a live herring. Take your herring, your chemically sharpened hook, Stick it through the back of the head, not through the brain, we still want him to swim. I'm using hard mono leader, that's actually a brand, hard mono, so the fish don't bite me off. Let's see how we go. Fish were already free jumping around the fad, and the herring was eaten the second it hit the water. The first thing mahi-mahi do is somersault clear of the water before a scorching run that can be over 100 metres.
Yeah, that's beautiful, mate.
They'll also try to put you around the fad chain before putting on a display you'll never forget. It can take half an hour or more to subdue them, and they always come to the boat glowing green, which we think is their angry colour. Mahi always have one surge left in them, so you must be ready for it. Isn't that fantastic? Aren't they just the most beautiful fish you've ever seen? All green, the blue spots. This is unbelievable to be doing this just off the coast of Rottnest Island. After showing them how it was done, I handed the reins over to David, who wasn't quite ready for the power of the mahi-mahi.
I'll come around you, right?
That's the one. That's all right, getting clear of that prop.
Just leave him up. Just now.
Yeah.
I should have. Yeah.
Easy for you to say, Don, but when they don't want to be lifted, you can't lift them.
It's not a small fish either, I'll have you know. No,
Maybe 6 or 7? 6 or 7, yeah. Good fish. Don got bored of waiting for David, so threw out his trusty handline with a whole squid, and soon had his first fish on board Christmas Island style.
Oh, that's nice. You're not going anywhere, baby.
Hang on. Finally, David's fish was ready to be landed, but put on quite a performance at the boat. He obviously didn't know we were going to let him go.
Get the fish under the gills. That's it, got him.
Hey, wait a minute, Don, that's the boy's fish. He's not camera shy, is he? Okay, so that's one down. Now, we're going to go with the fly rod. I'm going to troll this fly, past the fad, and see if they eat it. And I bet they do. Okay, I know what you're going to say, this isn't really fly fishing, but I did it to show you how effective small trolled lures are in the mahi.
Yeah, on! Woo-hoo-hoo! Go, pull the hooks, I think. No, still on, still on. Whoa! Whoa!
When my fish hit the water, another fish thought it was food and attacked it. These things can get really aggressive.
The other dolphin fish had a go at this one.
I love using my fly rod out here. You have a lot more control over the fish when they dive, and the flex in the rod gives you plenty of buffer when they surge around the place.
You won't come in yet.
Go tail first, tail first. That's the stuff. That's the stuff. You can see he's taking that fly right in the corner of his mouth there. Now, on fly, you can try stripping using a really fast strip, but it's much better to just troll past the fad. They'll grab it every time. Little popper flies like that, with a bit of gold, bit of green, bit of blue, perfect. When the sun gets higher, the larger mahi go deep, so I like to grab the 2 kilo outfit with a piece of squid and have some real fun on light tackle with the smaller fish. With light line, you really feel the true speed and power of the mahi, and coming out here to fish for food really doesn't give you the appreciation of how great a day at the fads can be. There's something about releasing a beautiful fish like this that you can't explain. Why not try catch and release fishing yourself, and you may enjoy it even more. I certainly do. Mahi are also called dolphin fish, but they resemble a dolphin about as much as I resemble a fruit bat. They actually got this name for their tendency to follow boats in their wake like dolphins. They are also called dorado, which is Spanish for gold. You can guess that one for yourself. On the way home, Don and David shared their secret snapper spot with me. It's great when friends get together and learn from each other, isn't it?